Diabetic students, I'll show you how can we produce a database system for Animal Boulevard Clinic. First of all, we should have prepare for logo. I made my own logo and you should prepare your own logo. And second, we should have the following Excel sheet, which contains the data source or information that we need to export to Microsoft Access database. We have four tabs here, which each tab represents a table in the four tables database. And table one contains the animal details table, and you should have the following fields in that table. We have 50 records, means currently we have 50 animals in this database. Second, the owner details, and we have 49 owners because this owner owns two animals. That's why we have 49 instead of 50. Treatment details with these fields and the prescription with these fields. Remember, we have 50 animals currently because with some students they got 1000, which is incorrect. Okay, so we start with this. Then we will press right click and go to Microsoft Access and produce the Boulevard Animal Clinic database. We open it. We have now an totally empty database system. We need to import the tables from Microsoft Excel to Microsoft Access. To do that, we go to External Data tab and import from file. It is an Excel file, and go to a folder which contains the data source and go to this folder that contains the data source, and then you will find that this Excel sheet contains four tables. I'll start importing the first table. Click next. First row contains column headings. You should tick or click this option and then move. You don't need to change anything here. Now choose primary key, which should be the animal ID, and then we have the animal details table should be ready here. Now we have the first table ready. We do the same steps to import the other three tables, and then I go to the same folder and press OK. Owner details, yes, this should be click, and then go to next, choose primary key, which is the owner ID, and then we have the second table ready, which is the owner details table. Again, go to Excel, browse. We will now import the third table, which is the treatment details table. And for treatment details table, remember that we don't have primary key. Next, finish. We have the third table, and the last table will be imported using the same way. Now, the last table, which is prescription details table, headings, okay, choose primary key, which is the prescription ID. Finish. Now I finished from the first step. I have four tables ready in the database system. I go to animal details and make sure that I have everything here ready for me. This is how to open the table in datasheet view. And I'll show you later how to open it using design view. The same applies here, and for the other tables can do. Please always click close anything that you don't need here. We'll start with the animal details table. We open it using design view, and here we need to make sure that we have all fields with correct data types. Animal ID is a number, name is a short text, animal ID, date of birth is a date, animal type is text, and animal sex is text again, short text for ideal weight and actual weight also. Chip details is a number, owner ID is a number. Now we'll start with producing the validation rule. At least we need to produce one validation rule. For animal sex, if you remember, that is a required field. We put the validation rule, please, or validation rule should be mem or f, means male or female, and the error message in case the user has entered an incorrect value. We need to produce an error message, please enter M for male and F for female. Okay, save, yes, and then close. We now open the table again using the datasheet view. Now, if I try to change this M into another value, I should receive this message, which is, and now the validation rule is working correctly. So I keep it like that. We can produce again another validation rule in the treatment details. If you remember, the the prescription monthly renewal date is a date in a month, and this value should be between 1 and 31st. So 31 means, that the animal should get back to clinic, within the month, and the value validation rule, between 1 and 31. And the error message, please enter number between 1 and 31, because we have 31 days in a month, as maximum. Now let's save it, or save, yes, and again close and try to test that one. For example, if a user by mistake, press 111, we should receive the error message and we get back to 1 again. So now save. We have the two validation rules, made in this case. The second request in this database is the lookup wizard. As you can see, we have 4 types of animals: dog, cat, hamster, rabbit. Sorry, 5. I think we have the gerbil. So we have 5 types of animals in that database. How can I ask a user to select or to choose only from this menu or from this list, so that, for example, it's not allowed to add fish or a bird, for example. So I go again to design view and go to animal type here and press lookup wizard. I will produce my wizard, and here I produce the list: dog, cat, hamster, rabbit. I know it is written incorrectly, but this is coming from BTEC, and gerbil. Okay, next. Limit to list. You should click this option and finish. Now let's go back again to the table, and for example, if somebody by mistake, look at the lookup wizard. By the way, if a user just by mistake, he will ask him to change it to the options in the list only. And this is how we do the validation rule. Oh, sorry, the lookup wizard. Okay. Now we need to produce relationships between these column or table. Sorry, before that, we need to make sure that we have primary key. This is a key sign here. You can see it. This is a key sign, and this is the primary key of that table. Close. For this one, we have primary key, the owner ID. Close. If you remember, in this table we don't have primary key. Sorry, prescription. Yes, we have primary key, and for the last table we don't have primary key. So we don't have primary key here. Now I go to database tools and then I produce relationships. Maybe you find that is given for you. So I add the 4 tables here and then try to produce relationships between these 4 tables by joining or matching the fields that are common between these tables. So with this table and that table, we have the owner ID as common, enforce, and create. Now 1 to infinity, which means, what is mean by 1 to infinity? 1 to infinity means, one owner can own more than one animal, which is 1 to n. But one animal is owned by one owner